Low potential isn't always the answer, but it's almost always the solution. You know?
Right.
And it's like if you're at work and you've got a square peg and a round hole and you can't get it to fit in, if you're in high potential, you'll get a hammer and try to hammer that square peg in the round hole. But in low potential, you'll just go, oh wait, the hole is round and this is square. This isn't the right thing. I need to get something else or a different hole, or right? You take in more information and make a new choice. In high potential, we get stuck in the old choice that we made and we try to make the universe fit our choice. The universe is too big, man. We are a little tiny part of this big universe, and you know what? Let's not waste our time trying to change it that way. Right. Instead, your power is in being able to change yourself, slow down, take in new information, and make a new choice. And that's my point about real power. Because now you don't have to change the universe. You just go find the square hole to put your peg in. You know?
And that's actually a common thing that you hear people say is don't try to change others, try to change yourself. What's nice about EnergyWorks and especially the Play Shop too, is it has the tools and the exercises to help you do that.
Right.
Instead of it just being a concept or an idea.
Yeah. Well, I
really have enjoyed this. This is definitely taking my Wing Chun, my work, everything to the next level. It's good, for sure.
Good. Well, I'm, tell your friends.
Yeah, right.
So what happened for me 30 years ago when I started going to spiritual teachers is exactly that. They would say exactly what you said, but then I'm the person who always wants to go deeper, and I want to say, okay, well, unpack that. What do you mean? Okay, how do I do that? And their answer is always, well, meditate or love more, or, and that's great. But I'm, I need the detail. I need to unpack that. If
there's something obvious I'm missing, I get it. But
yeah, and it's like if you ask someone, how do you drive a car? Well, let's say, okay, you just steer the wheel and you've got the pedals, one goes and one stops, and great. But when I look at a car, I want to say, okay, what does that pedal do though? When I push the pedal, what's happening? I want to be able to know what's going on and how to control this. Because if I really figure it out, now I can figure out how to double clutch. Or there's all kinds of details around driving I can figure out that I'm not going to figure out if I don't look behind the pedal, if I don't look what's going on behind the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So, for people who would like to understand what those high spiritual truths mean, that's what this class is about. And it's not that I have the answer, it's that when you understand energy works, the answers present themselves. I'm not trying to give anybody answers here, I'm just trying to show people how to find answers. One of my teachers says that love is all there is. Love is all there is. Period. Okay. She's absolutely right. She's 100% correct. But to a person who's going through a lot of suffering or who has to endure a lot of things that don't feel loving, as a phrase, that's not very helpful. What are they supposed to do? Just meditate on that love is all there is and then hope they figure it out and feel better about themselves someday? To me, that's not helpful. Love is all there is, that's absolutely true. Love is a wave. It's an energy wave, and that's the original wave. And every other wave that exists is the wave of love transformed. Which is why, fear has a certain shape. Yeah. But what it is the shape of love and ease, and it's been hit. It's been, it's like it's had its bell rung, and so now it's vibrating in a different way. When it stops vibrating in this new way, it falls back into the natural rhythm of love and ease. Like we all do. We're all loving people, and then something crazy happens in our life and we get mad or triggered. But then when we relax and it's over and calm down, we're back to our loving self. But that's what that means, is that love is all there is. When you fall back, when the craziness, when the high potential is over and you're back in low potential, what's there is love. And you can prevent yourself from feeling it if you'd like to. But if you're just in low potential, noticing what's going on, assuming you're not triggered or upset and there's nothing really going on, like, what's the undercurrent is love. It's
right.
It's there.
Well, and then love and silence, which actually is very. I go through periods of time where it'll get quiet, and then I'll think, "What do I need to do?"
Yeah.
Funny little thing. Just be.
Well, remember, there's nothing.
I'm having a conversation about it, but it's cool.
Well, there's nothing inherently wrong with high potential. There are times when being in high potential is appropriate. The point of this class is to point out that low potential also has value. Mm-hmm. And in many cases has far more value than high potential. But low potential is not always appropriate.
Well, and for me, I can see in the past where I would automatically go into low potential because I'm listening to what somebody's telling me. Mm-hmm. But then I would almost buy into their story.
That's
right. And so being able to switch to listen, be in low potential, fully listen, but then as soon as I start to feel myself buy in, I can switch to high potential and get back on track with what we're really talking about.
Right.
And this is new for me, but and so I've only been playing with it in just small little things. Mm-hmm. But knowing my past and how I've handled certain situations, this will help me immensely.
Right.
So I view this little being able to switch back and forth as it's a good tool to have in my tool belt. Yeah,
it's big. And low potential is about taking information in, but that doesn't mean we have to agree with it. Like, agreeing with what we're hearing is not part of low potential. It's not part of high potential either. That's just making a choice. Mm-hmm. It's also true, though, if somebody's venting about something that happened and you listen to it for a long time, pretty soon you also are mad at whatever happened,
Yeah. Absolutely.
And, right. So there's a dance there. Like, how do I let this person vent? How do I take it in without also getting triggered myself?
Mm-hmm.
And
it's real.
Yeah, and there's this EnergyWorks online workshop that I have is the foundation for EnergyWorks.
Of course.
And there are aspects of this work that I've reserved for teacher training.
Absolutely.
So this particular detail, I'm happy to share with you. It's not really part of EnergyWorks, but perception that we have as individual nodes in a big system, like I am me. I take energy, I give energy. That creates a lot of consequence. It also can create like getting full of ourself, full of energy. It can also create being completely devoid and like washed out, like, oh, I'm so spent. But this energy that we're playing with, we don't really own it. It's not really coming to us and leaving us. It's just passing through. And sometimes when it's passing through, it's coming to us, and then it passes through, and then it's going away from us. So if you let yourself be more of a conduit than a source, because that's the thing, we perceive ourselves as the source of this energy going out, or the source that's drawing energy in.
Right.
It actually gets rather exhausting. But if you're simply a conduit, the energy is just passing through. Now you don't have to hold on. You can listen to somebody vent. And when they're done venting, you can just say, well, thanks for sharing. I hear you. That doesn't sound good at all. But it's not stuck on you. But you haven't taken it on. It's just passed through.
That's fantastic.
So that's, it's a piece from the next class, but it's obviously helpful here, so I'm happy to share it.
No, I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I'd like to leave you with for the week, and it's something just to leave in the back of your head while you're continuing to practice using high and low. I'm not sure if this is homework or a command or an observation. It's all these things. Be in low potential, but use high potential.
Whoa. You're writing that down. Okay. All right. Be low potential, but use high potential.
So remain in low potential, remain observant, remain open to what's happening, and then you use high potential to respond. When you're in high potential, you're using a method to send energy out to get things done. But that's a tool that you're using. When you're done using the tool, you just fall back into being in low potential. So most of our life, for most of us, we were taught to be human doings. And so everything's about doing. And so this class is about becoming a human being. And the doing part, I talked before in a video about how in low potential, just stay in low potential, and then when things happen, you rise up into high potential, you take care of it, and then you fall back down into low potential. Mm-hmm. So be in low potential, but use high potential.
Practice, I'm already getting pretty good at it.
I can tell. I can tell by the way you're talking about it, so.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for calling in, Shaun.
Hey, thanks, Brian. You have a great one.
All right, you too. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Bye. Ciao.